Hey everyone! Most people think hitting your first $100,000 is all about luck. You know, a big promotion, a business that finally takes off, or a one-in-a-million investment. But that's just not true. The first 100,000 is so hard because the entire system is designed to work against you. But after you cross that line, something amazing happens. The system starts working for you. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens and how you can get there. Let's start with the truth that might make you uncomfortable. The first phase of building wealth has nothing to do with investing. It's not about stocks, it's not about crypto, and it's definitely not about how smart you are. It's all about survival math. Think about it. When your net worth is less than $10,000, every single dollar you have is already spoken for. Rent, food, getting to work, bills, and the constant fear of an emergency. One unexpected expense, one small mistake, can wipe out everything you've saved. At this stage, you're not building wealth. You're just trying to plug leaks in a sinking boat. Time feels like your enemy. Inflation is quietly stealing your purchasing power every single day. If you have any debt, the interest is a constant drain. And your income is directly tied to the hours you work. The moment you stop, the money stops. It's a brutal trap. So, you start saving. Slowly, painfully. Maybe it's $100 a month, maybe $300. It feels completely pointless. You look at your account, and the number barely seems to move. You save for months, only to see it all vanish because your car breaks down or you have a medical bill. This is the exact point where most people give up. You begin to truly understand the power of delayed gratification. It's still slow. It's still boring. It's still incredibly frustrating. Then you hit $50,000. And this, believe it or not, is the most dangerous zone. Why? Because at $50,000, you start to feel wealthy, but you're not. You feel like you're ahead of your friends. You feel safe. And this feeling of safety is where people sabotage themselves. They reward themselves way too early. They upgrade their car. They move into a fancier apartment. They start eating out more. And just like that, they're stuck again. They're on the same treadmill, just with better-looking shoes. But the ones who resist this temptation, the ones who keep their lifestyle the same and continue living below their means, they are the ones who reach the tipping point. $100,000. This number isn't magical in itself. But the math behind it is. This is where everything changes. First, compound growth finally becomes visible. Let's say you get a 7% annual return on $10,000. That's $700 a year. You won't even feel that. It's not life-changing. But on $100,000, that same 7% is $7,000 a year. Now that's noticeable. That could be a few months of rent. That could cover your groceries for most of the year. That is, breathing room. Your money is now making a meaningful amount of money all by itself, without you lifting a finger. Second, your tolerance for risk completely shifts. When you have nothing, every investment feels like a life or death decision. One wrong move, and you're back to zero. But at $100,000, you can afford to make mistakes. You can invest for the long term without panicking every time the market dips. You can wait. Time, which was once your enemy, is now your greatest ally. Third, your income stops being your only engine for growth. Before this point, your net worth grows almost entirely from the money you earn and save. After $100,000, your wealth starts to grow from what you own. Your money is working for you nights, weekends, and holidays. You're no longer just trying to keep up with inflation. You start to outrun it. And fourth, opportunity starts finding you. This is the part people don't like to talk about. Money attracts leverage. It opens doors to better investments, better financial advice, and better partnerships. You get access to opportunities that the average person never even sees. It's not because you suddenly became a genius. It's because you survived the brutal early stages long enough to qualify for the next level. Now, here's the most exciting part. After you hit 100,000, your growth becomes non-linear. Your net worth doesn't just climb steadily anymore. It starts to jump. Getting from 100,000 to 150,000 will feel faster than going from 0 to 50,000. And getting from 150 to 250 will feel almost inevitable. Eventually, you'll reach a point where your investments earn more in a single year than your salary. That's when people look at you and say, wow, you got rich overnight. They didn't see the decade of boredom. They didn't see the discipline, the consistency, the sacrifice. They didn't even see you saying no when everyone else was saying yes to spending every dollar they earned. So why do so many people never reach that first 100,000? Because the early game is thankless. There's no dopamine rush. There's no applause. There's no visible progress for a very long time. It's just you, your discipline, and your ability to ignore the noise. And here's the final truth. Reaching $100,000 doesn't make you rich, but it makes you dangerous. You become dangerous to inflation. You become dangerous to debt. You become dangerous to a life controlled by your next paycheck. It's the point where building wealth stops being a theoretical dream and becomes a mathematical reality. So, if you're under that $100,000 mark right now, stop chasing risky returns. Focus on what really matters: your stability, your savings rate, and your discipline. Because the first 100,000 isn't about the money. It's about forging yourself into the kind of person who can build and keep wealth. And once you cross that line, your net worth doesn't just grow, it explodes. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, make sure to like and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.